The Bible teaches men the consequence of inconsistency. If that's you, bro, don't skip past this video. If you give me 3 minutes, I'll show you how the Bible tells you why you're inconsistent and how to solve it. Starting off with this Bible verse, James chapter 1 verse 2 says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." Now, before we break into this first verse, let's talk about the definition of inconsistency. An inconsistent man, by definition, is one who lacks alignment between what he says, what he believes, and how he behaves, making him unreliable, unstable, and easily shaken. And that brought me to a question, because I don't believe that a man starts something and then had intent to want to quit in between starting it. So why? Well, as I read this first verse, and it says, "Count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience." So that brought me to a point. Maybe as a man, you become inconsistent when you fall into the trials. In street terms, the trials are when you start something, you're excited, but then all the bad stuff starts happening, right? All the outside forces begin to press onto you and pushing you off course, right? You're doing this thing, and then the patience is required in order for you to actually get to the other side to see the success, because in the beginning you suck. So now you're like, yo, let me just move on to something else. That's why it says right here in the verse, bro, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. And the definition of patience is a man who can bear under pressure without quitting. And that's the direct opposite of a man who's inconsistent. Are you seeing the link here? And it says right here in the Bible, bro, that you have to let that patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete and lack nothing. And that's the reason why you're inconsistent. You stop right there before the perfect work begins. Now, the consequence of inconsistency is right here in James chapter 1, verse 6. "But let him ask in faith with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea and tossed by the wind." In street terms, this is a man who prayed to God and asked for the blessing, and then 30 days later, he changed his mind. That's a man who doubts God, and he's getting tossed around by every opportunity in front of him, the different trends, what's going on online. Can't stick to one thing. And right here it says the consequence is, "For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways." So in street terms, a man who's inconsistent will not receive what he prayed for, and not because God doesn't want to give it, but because he didn't want to go through the trials necessary in order to become the man who can handle the thing that he prayed for. So I'll leave you with this, bro. Let patience have its perfect work. Share this with a brother who needs it.